మీకు ఒకవేళ తీసుకుని వచ్చేసి అక్కడికి వచ్చి చేసుకున్న పని ఇబ్బంది లేదులేండి. జస్ట్ మన గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్లో పడేయండి. డీటో -26-05 TGZ అక్కడ wwwలో ఉంటుంది HTMLలో. jQuery మొత్తం చేస్తారా అందరూ? ఫిల్టర్స్ ఐడియా ఉందా jQuery? ఫిల్టర్ అంటే ఏంటి అసలు? బేసిక్గా ఫిల్టర్ అంటే ఏంటి? వాళ్ళు ఫిల్టర్ వాడతారు కదా ఎక్కడ చూడ. ఎందుకు ఫిల్టర్? ఎందుకు? ఇప్పుడు కాఫీ ఫిల్టర్ ఉంది, లేదా టీ ఫిల్టర్ ఉంది. ఫిల్టర్ ఎందుకు వాడతాం? ఫిల్టర్ పేపర్ ఉంది. వై డు వి యూజ్ ఫిల్టర్? పని లేక వాడతాం, అంతే కదా. ఫిల్టర్ అక్కర్లేదు కదా. టీ తాగాలంటే డైరెక్ట్గా కాల్చుకుని అలా తాగేయచ్చు కదా. ఫిల్టర్ ఎందుకు వాడతాం? You want to separate out something that is required for you. Either way, you may be filtering that is required on the other side, or you may be sometimes the filter itself may be containing that's what. But this is not the case. Whatever you filter out, that is only the one that you can consume normally. In computers concept, what we talk about. If you want to negate the filter, you can negate the filter. But that's a model anyway. Let me move on. ఇంకొకటి కూడా తెచ్చి పెట్టేస్తాను మీ విండోస్ది, so that it will not be any issue at all. Copy link address wget. One time you can now find out that your Android. So this is a simple SDK. This is Studio. Okay. For Linux, you can unzip and you can directly run it. Okay. Now let's move on. So actually I asked you to work out up to filtering. I don't know whether you know all these things. So have you done this part, at least till this part? No. If not, that I would like to take you a quick glance. We already seen that set and get. Okay, how to set the property, property value of a particular element. How to set the property value of a particular element using jQuery. Attribute, property in the sense attribute. An element attribute has to be changed. What is the model? What is the way? Anything, even you can change here also. For example, if you something what you have, you are finding here, for example, let me find this. Inspect this element. So this table has a class download, and I want to add an ID to this table on this one. So that has, how can you select that first? There may be some another class also may be there, but okay, let me add. Okay. How can you say? How can I select this particular table object using jQuery? jQuery is already there. Assume that, because most of the websites nowadays using jQuery. Download. So this is how you can select all the objects. So table objects, two table download objects are there. I want to change this particular object. The second object's the second object, or last child. You can also get the last child possibly, or otherwise next object, or the object of 1. I want to get it. You can get it. So now which is this one? This is the second one. I want to set the ID for this. Dot set dot. I want to change the attribute attr attribute. What attribute I want to add? ID attribute. Table 2. So this attribute will be set to this table now. Okay, I'm sorry. What is it? It is not a function. Okay, it's not a function. Uncaught. Or dot ID is equal, you can set. Otherwise, let me take alt. Let me put alt. It's not at here. Is not a function now. Jquery must be there. Dot. You can also get the CSS value of something. Okay, right? Or attr class. Not saying. It's saying that it's not a function. Okay. Okay, it's not the case here. Okay. You want to capture that particular table itself, that particular object you need to get. Dot it's not defined. Just a minute. Next siblings, next shell, next all. You can get next until, previous, next. This is what. Okay, let me try this. Dot next. That's one. That's what we are getting. Previous. Prev. That's it. Previous is what we are getting, the paragraphs. So the previous and next elements we are getting. We need to get the descendants. Descendants. Children of. Or find also you can do. Children. Dot children. So dot children means you will be getting both the childs. T body. Okay. What is that? Dot. You need to be able to get the particular object value. Set it. Dot text you can do it. Something dot text you can do it, but it is with a particular object you are trying to do. Dot HTML you can change. Dot val you can change. You can set the value. You can also set the attribute like this, but somehow it's not coming here. It should be. Jquery is there or not? That's the question. Dot children means they are getting both the children. So they are getting with both the tables basically. Next child, last child, sibling, so on and so forth. Dot. You can also get the class objects. 2 class objects we are getting there. How do we get that particular object? That's what you can get that object. That object has to be converted to add, remove, CSS class. Dot CSS we can apply. That's the one. Traversing ancestors, descendant, ancestor, descendant, ancestor dot sibling, what will be there? So ancestor dot childs dot parent dot parent. Let us check it. Dot parent. Two, both must be having the same parent. Assume that. So it's a single div element. Single div element we are getting. Inside the div element we have two table things. So that's the last child. I want to get the last child. So that last child. So descendants. Children or find. Children or find. Children with P1. Children of P1. Children of find span or find star, whatever it is. Children will return the whole thing. So dot children will return all the things. It's going to be an array basically. But I want to get the last child. That's what my objective here is. This is what I want to change, and I want to get it. Okay, possibly it's because it's an array. We must be able to acquire it, but somehow it's not working here. That's a question. What I'm. Okay, let me. K is equal to something. K dot attr. No, attr I cannot change. I hope. K attr it's not there because K is an one particular thing here with regard to, since it's not clearly separated, that's why. If you see the elements again, the class downloaded, no more extra attributes are added here to catch that particular element. Otherwise, you would have caught this element. Otherwise, we will do like this. Let's see. Okay, I want to get the last child, am I right? So let me try to get like this. Then what do I get? I got another idea here. What I want to do, I want to get the download of last child. Now I will only be getting one element now. Dot attr. Assume that only one element I may be getting. Attr I want to add alt text, some alt text. So Android SDK or Android ID SD Android Studio IDE. Now I can set it. Now that's how I have selected. Now the selector has been changed in such a way that I want to get the download class, but I want to get the last child from that. So now I can set it. Now if you see these elements, now you will be seeing that the alt text got added now here. So this selector can also give you all the CSS selectors it can give you, because that is being written as an array. That's why we are trying to control it. That's what we are actually trying to do. So anyway, we have got something and we are able to do it. Now let's see something else. So add remove. We can also remove an element directly without telling the parent. Also you can remove. That is an advantage here. For example, as I may be having something here. Is there any work here? My work. Change the it will take care about the rest. That's what I would like to tell you. So let me show you a small example here. The same thing here, it is a table. I want to remove from the body element, whatever it is, I want to remove this this row, whatever it is there. So let me show you an example here. Inspect element, console. So from that particular row, I want to remove from the last child, from the T body. Okay, I want to get, and in the TR, I want to get nth child of say 1, 2. I want to get the nth child of 2. From that one, from T body, if you observe it, the elements again. So that is what table class. From T body, I want to get the nth child, TR nth child. From T body, inside the TR, nth child of say 2, I want to get it. Can I get it? I got it. I want to remove it. It got removed. The row got removed. You are seeing something else there. The whole row got removed. Now if you want to get again the same way, you can also get another remove. So what is this? This is actually telling you the table that what you want to select. It's from download class. The class, any element that has a class name called download, pick the last element, and out of which inside you pick the T body. You observe it. It's a T body. Inside the T body, you pick TR. Which TR? The second child, the second TR, and you just remove it. So in order to remove, in order to delete a table row, you need not tell go to parent, remove the child. You need not tell it. Just you can directly tell itself, so that it will take care. The rest of the thing will be done internally. It will go to its parent and it will tell you remove this child. So that's how it is. It was written internally, but directly can take care about one element. You can directly remove. So that's how you can always do it. ఇప్పుడు మరి ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ వెబ్సైట్ లో చేంజ్ అయిపోద్ది, ఎలాగా మనం రిమూవ్ చేస్తాం కదా. ఇప్పుడు బయట వాళ్ళకి విండోస్ కనపడదు కదా, కనపడుతుందా? మీకు చేంజ్ అయిపోయింది అది. So this is only the local change what we are doing. So all this is for our testing purposes. We are trying to do something, right? But నేను ఒక కాలం తీయాలనుకుంటున్నాను ఇప్పుడు ఇదే రోలో. ఎలా మరి? టీ బాడీలో టీడీ సెకండ్ కాలం సెలెక్ట్ చేయాలి. సెకండ్ కాలం ప్రతి దాంట్లో సెకండ్ కాలం తీసేయాలి. ఎంత టీడీ ఎంత చైల్డ్ రిమూవ్. ఆ చివరి కాలం తీసేసి జరిపేసి చూడండి. బాడీలోదో తీసాం, హెడ్లో తీలా. ఇక్కడ ఈ సెకండ్ కాలం పోయింది. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇవి రెండు జరిగిపోయినాయి. మనం ఏదో లూప్ రాసి ప్రతి టీడీ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి పేరెంట్కి వెళ్ళి ఆ టీడీలో ఈ చైల్డ్ తీసేమని నీడ్ నాట్ డూ ఇట్. You select all the columns. Just ask it to be removed. So all the TDs will get selected. What is going to happen here? 1, 2, 3. Or the 2 TDs are there. This is the 2 second columns. This and this are going to constitute the second column. This second column తీసేయాలని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను basically. So second column తీయాలంటే I need to apply each individually. I can directly apply with single function. With single function I can apply it. Remove. So what is the meaning of this selector? That's what I would like to make sure again. What is the meaning of this selector? First, what are we selecting first? There are download, there are class elements called, there are multiple elements which say assume to be download, out of which you want to pick the last element. Inside the last element, assume that it's a table, and inside that there is another element called t-body. If you observe again here, it's a t-body. This t-body, I want to make use of it. I want to just inside the t-body, I want to remove certain rows, whatever the row I want to. So I want to remove a certain row here, and accordingly I want to delete the columns. So if you want to remove the th also, okay, th కూడా remove చేయాలనుకున్నా t-body లో. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి ఇక్కడ? ఫస్ట్ th తీసేద్దాం, అప్పుడు మనకి ఈజీ వస్తుంది కొంత. అప్పుడు th td రెండు కలిపి తీయడం ఎలాగో చెప్తాను. th తీసేద్దాం, రెండు సార్లు తీయాలి th. ఇప్పుడు కరెక్ట్గా ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు th td రెండు కలిపి తీసేయాలి. వాట్ ఇస్ ద వే? What is the way here? Comma. మళ్ళీ ఇదంతా కాపీ చేసుకోండి. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. ఇక్కడ TD రెండు సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సెకండ్ చైల్డ్ రెండు రిమూవ్ చేసామని. THDD రెండు కలిపి తీసేసింది ఇప్పుడు. So you need to understand these small things. If I refresh it, I will get back the original one. For example, let me show you something. అన్ని TRs కి I want to apply color red, background color లేదా background color yellow అప్లై చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. .css background color comma yellow. మొత్తం ఈ టేబుల్ లో ఉన్న అన్ని TRs they will get changed to yellow color, including the head. Okay, head change అవ్వలేదు ఎందుకు? Okay, another class might be right. Anyway, అన్ని కలిపి ఒకేసారి కలర్ చేంజ్ అయిపోతాయి. సో లెట్ మీ గివ్ యూ అన్ స్మాల్ టాస్క్ నౌ. ఓకే, నా చిన్న టాస్క్ ఇస్తాను మీకు. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ let it come out. What is my task here? You know, I will copy the file from here to there, no problem. Let me prepare it first. Notepad++ later. అక్కడే చేశాను. వచ్చేసి చాలా స్లో ఉంది. jQuery.min.js. Where is it? jQuery.min.js. ఉందా మీ దాంట్లో ఎక్కడైనా jQuery? లేదు కదా. You need to download it. ఇక్కడ ఉంది jQuery. తీసుకుంటే సరే. Yeah, jQuery.min.js. Actually, the dynamic generate chestani easy, but anyway. Table ID so and so tr. Type is equal to radio and is equal to attendance. Radio. Absent. Name is equal to attendance. So this is a kind of thing. Let me multiply this. Control C, Control V. If you are able to solve this problem, then you are able to learn something good. ఇది డైనమిక్గా జనరేట్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది. ఇంకా ఇలా చేయాలని మాన్యువల్గా చేస్తే కూర్చుంటాం. ఐడి మారాలి కదా, ఎక్కడ మారి తప్పు వచ్చింది కదా. ఐడి ఎడిటి ఐడి సేమ్ ఉండకూడదు కదా, తప్పు వచ్చింది ఎక్కడ. ఎడిట్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఎడిట్ యాప్షన్ అంతే అంతే 04 ఇక్కడ అయ్యాలి. 03 ఏంటి 03 వచ్చినాయి అన్ని. 1 2 3 4 పడాలి ఇక్కడ, తప్పు చేసింది. సో 01 02 03 04 05 05 05 06 06 06 06 06 అయిపోయినాయి కదా. Let's save. Now if you observe this table, if you open this table, now if I click the present, all the things should be marked as present. The present में click చేసినప్పుడు అందరూ present అయిపోవాలి. Absent में click చేస్తే అందరూ absent అవ్వాలి. Absent అవడమే కాకుండా అందరూ రెడ్ కలర్ లో చేంజ్ అవ్వాలి. Present click చేస్తే అందరూ గ్రీన్ కలర్ లో చేంజ్ అవ్వాలి. Got the task? So this is a table. Let me also apply style here. Style table. మన table styles ఉంటాయి కదా. Border is border, 1 pixel, solid, gray, border, collapse, collapse. Next, every tr, nth child of even. You can apply through Jquery also. It's a different matter. Background color, say aqua. Odd, light gray. You want to have that separation of the other TD also. Every TD, I want to have a border. I want to have a soft border. For every TD, I want to have a border. Dotted gray. Right. So there is a soft border. But whenever I click on present, all others must become present automatically. అక్కడ present క్లిక్ చేశానంటే we have to change all other things to be present. మొత్తం అందరినీ present లో చేంజ్ అవ్వాలి. సో స్టూడెంట్ నేమ్ అది ఇక్కడ ఆబ్సెంట్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే అందరూ ఆబ్సెంట్ క్లిక్ అవ్వాలి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఆబ్సెంట్ మార్క్ అయిపోవాలి మొత్తం మిగతావన్నీ కూడా. సో హౌ కెన్ ఐ డూ ఇట్? దట్స్ వాట్. ఎప్పుడైనా ఈ ఆబ్సెంట్ క్లిక్ చేసి వీళ్ళందరూ రెడ్గా మార్క్ అయిపోవాలి, ఇవన్నీ రెడ్లో చేంజ్ అయిపోవాలి. ఈ మొత్తం స్టూడెంట్ నేమ్ ఇదంతా రెడ్లో చేంజ్ అవ్వాలి. సో దట్స్ యువర్ టాస్క్. Using Jquery, it is very easy to do this. So this is a task that you are supposed to do. All of you can take this HTML file, no problem. I will keep it online in the server. If you go and check it, index of contents, you must be able to find my work there. So I can copy all of the folders here also. With any folders here copy చేస్తాను. మీకు ఇచ్చిన task ఇది. Whenever I click this, it has to change all other colors. So that's my idea. It has to change all other values to be like that. So now I want to get that one. So how do you do it all? It's your. So if you know, if you are able to do all these things, you can do it actually. All of the TRs must be changed to red color. That's what. Now, CSS class, you can try it out. You can find out some way, and you need to find the parents. Everything you need to do all these things. Filtering also required. Like this. Or not only that, you can also use EQ method. If it is equal to something, then you do something. So index number or whatever it is. So if that index number of this one is equal to something, you get it. So you will be picking that one. Okay, last time we could not do it. Now it is possible to do it. In this one, what we have tried yesterday, we tried selecting the last body or last child. Instead, now we can do that here. Download dot equal is equal to 2. So it means you are willing to find out the second index containing the download element. Now you can change it. That's what. Okay, dot unexpected token illegal. Okay, double quote. I did not end the double quote. Okay, this is not getting. We are not getting. Just a minute. Start with 0. Okay, 0. 0. Index number starts with 0. So that's why you need to use 1. Instead of 2, you need to use 1 there. Now you will be getting the second element. Now you can apply something on this. Dot. Earlier. Download second table. Now you can do whatever you want. If you want to delete the table itself, you can delete it. Instead of selecting the last child, I am getting the index number, giving the index number. Now that index number will be automatically captured. Now you can delete the table. Remove. You can remove the table. So that is a filter. EQ filter equals to the index number. Gives index number. Or you can also apply the filter, dot filter. And if there is another class inside, you can also do the filter. Or you can also say not. That's what? Negation of the filter. Something which is not introduction, you want to pick it. All the paragraphs which are not introduction, you want to pick them. Ajax, we need to come back again. Since Ajax requires a server side doing something. As we have not started something, then we can. So that's why today I can say that Jquery you should be able to finish this task. Then only you can assume that you have done your job. Let me change the thing there, like title. I did not change the title basically. CD var www content my work 26 PA Jquery ASP.html JavaScript Jquery ASP. Shortenings. I want to pick, whenever this is picked, assume that everybody is attended, student, whatever it is. Everybody is assumed to be absent, present. Whenever I click, everybody seems to be absent. So you need to do it. So for that, we have given a simple pattern to find out the things actually. So if you really come back here and see what kind of selectors are there, you can easily see that. If you see the selectors, there are selectors options here. If you see, all the selector list is given here. Something like something or whatever it is. If you want to do something, you can also do, or equal to something. So this is how you can also get. If, for example, you want to pick all the elements, input elements. You want to pick all the input elements. That's what. Let me show you. You want to pick all the input elements from this. Console $. I want to pick all the input elements. All the input elements whose ID whose ID or name or whatever it is, whose ID is like whose ID is like in the IDs ఎలా ఉన్నాయి దీని ID ఎలా ఉంది okay att underscore abs absent att underscore absent att underscore absent అన్ని absent ఎలిమెంట్లు వచ్చేసినాయి ఒకేసారి whose ID is like absent something like att underscore absent. Now I want to let them select it. Okay selected dot selected okay dot selected is equal to selected. Okay, you can also do like this. So you want to apply the attribute now. Selected. What is happening here? Okay. There are input elements. Okay, right. Got it. But attribute. Okay, selected. Set true. Let me check it. Okay, what kind of attribute do I get it here? That's what. Let me select. Selected is equal to selected. That's what I'm getting. That's not the one. Dot value. Okay, dot value. I need to put the value. Okay, that's what. Okay, let me check it. Dot value. Dot value is equal to a. That's what. Dot value is equal to a. I can get it, or okay, I can even select that. Console. Or you can also get the all the attributes. Whose ID value is so and so selected. Selected is equal to selected. Name is equal to so and so. Attribute selected is equal to selected. Checked is equal to checked. That's the problem. Okay, right. I'm sorry. I need to remove that attribute anyway. I can remove that attribute now anyway. Checked. Okay, dot checked is equal to checked. Checked is checked. అన్నీ ఒకేసారి చెక్ చేస్తున్నాను. You can set ఇప్పుడు దీని మీద ఈవెంట్ ఇది క్లిక్ చేస్తే సేమ్ అదే జరగాలని నా ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ basically. Whenever you click on present, it has to put all these things checked. Or whenever you are done, you have clicked on this, you have to get all these things checked. ఇప్పుడు ఈవెంట్ రాయొచ్చు దీనికి ఈ ఎలిమెంట్కి ఈవెంట్ రాయొచ్చు. ఇదేంటి బేసిక్ ఎలిమెంట్ elements. What is that element? I want to get the other element. This is the element. దీని ఐడి ఏంటి att absent. att absent కి క్లిక్ ఈవెంట్ రాయాలి. hash att underscore absent dot click. Click చేసి ఏం చేయాలి? This is where I want to do something function, a callback function, right? Click కి ఒక callback function రాయాలి. I want to, whenever it is done and absent is clicked, I want to check all other absents to be checked. ఇక్కడ same thing. ఇలా పెట్టేసి Control V and end. అయిపోయింది, problem solved. One problem is solved now. I added that one, but I don't know whether it is working or not because absent is already checked. కాబట్టి మనకు తెలియదు. Same thing we will add it to present also. Present కూడా యాడ్ చేద్దాం, అప్పుడు మనకు అర్థమవుతుంది. Present కూడా సేమ్, ADD present. Check చేయాలి. That is another thing. Now if I click on this one, it has to check all other one. And if I click on this, it has to, okay, absent కి ఎందుకు వర్క్ చేయలేదు? డాక్యుమెంట్ ఆర్ రెడీ ఫంక్షన్ లో పెట్టాలి. డాక్యుమెంట్ ఆర్ రెడీలో పెట్టాలి ఇది, అప్పుడు అగైన్ ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్. ప్రెజెంట్ వర్క్ చేస్తుంది, absent వర్క్ చేయట్లేదు. తప్పేమని రాశాను ఎక్కడైనా absent కి? డాక్యుమెంట్ ఆర్ రెడీలో we need to write this one. So we need to write this kind of functionality in the document are ready, so that it will be taken care every time whenever it is clicked. Whenever attitude.click absent click function input attitude absent attribute checked is equal to checked. Correct ga పెడుతున్నాం కదా. Let us refresh it so that it will not be a problem at all. Now let us add these both the things to document.ready. Document.ready కి రెండు యాడ్ చేద్దాం, absent present రెండు. Control C, Control V. That is absent కి, అలా present కి రాసాం కదా. Attitude present click function. Let me add it. Now let me add it to the document.ready. $document.ready is a function, anonymous function, which contains these two functions. Now you can copy this. Control C. Now let us check it. Let us see. Control V. అంటే ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది, తప్పు వచ్చింది, ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది? అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్. ఓకే ఓకే, తప్పు చేశాను. ఇంకొక బ్రాకెట్ క్లోజ్ చేయాలి కదా చివర. ఫంక్షన్ క్లోజ్ చేశాను కానీ మెయిన్ ఆ దాన్ని క్లోజ్ చేయాలి, రెడీని క్లోజ్ చేయాలి. Now I need to do it. Now it works fine. Present absent వర్క్ చేస్తుంది, present కి వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. మళ్ళీ absent కి వచ్చినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు రావాలి కదా. ఓకే, అది ఓకే. Now checked is equal to false. I need to check. Okay, that's why. Got it. So check true ఉంది కానీ, but okay, why it is not working? So that's the question now. So whenever you are doing it, you should also uncheck the other one. That's what. So we need to uncheck the other one also. Why it's not working? Simple logic here. Let me actually take Control C. Let me write this functionality, this kind of script inside this body. Okay, script. ఈ రెండిటి చేసినప్పుడు లోపల we need to do two different jobs here basically. ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి? ఫస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్ లోపల we are trying to do first input present ని చెక్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఇంకో దాన్ని అన్చెక్ చేయాలి, చెక్డ్ ఫాల్స్ చేయాలి. చెక్డ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఫాల్స్. చెక్డ్ ఫాల్స్ చేద్దాం. ఎవరిని? absent ని. absent ని ఫాల్స్ చెక్ చేయాలి. అండ్ సిమిలర్లీ ఇక్కడ చెక్డ్ absent చెక్ చేసినప్పుడు present ని ఫాల్స్ చేయాలి. present ని ఫాల్స్ చేయాలి. Now let us check it. ఎక్కడుంది ఇది? సరే, నా దగ్గరే కదా. సో సంథింగ్ చెక్డ్ క్లియర్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, చెక్డ్. Why it is not actually coming back? So small problem, you have to solve it. Edit absent checked chesam, checked is equal to checked, or checked is equal to true. Uncheck unda, dot uncheck unda. Create a button, checked. Checked true. Checked true. Dot checked true. Checked is equal to checked. Change it to true to checked. Checked అయితే checked చేసాము, but why it's not selecting, changing between this and that and this? Checked false, checked attribute, checked అదే యాడ్ చేసాం కదా మన attribute. Why it's not still there? ఈ checked. ఓకే, చెక్డ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు బ్లాంక్ పెడదాం, అప్పుడు తెలుస్తుంది. ఓకే, రైట్. ఇక్కడ లేకపోతే చెక్డ్ ఏం చేద్దాం? బ్లాంక్ చేద్దాం. చెక్డ్ ఫాల్స్ కాకుండా లెట్ us put it a blank. Then we will be getting to know whether it is working or not. Check. Normally we have to remove that attribute basically. ఇది వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. తప్పు చేసాం. ఫస్ట్ దాన్ని అసలు దాన్ని చేస్తాం. ఇది కరెక్టే, ఇది బ్లాంక్ చేయాలి. రెండు బ్లాంక్ చేసాం. సెకండ్ టైం బ్లాంక్ చేద్దామని ఆలోచన. ఓకే, రివర్స్ వర్క్ చేస్తుందండి. ఏం చేసాము? absent క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు absent చెక్ చేస్తున్నాము. Checked. So how to clear an attribute? That's important. Right, remove ATTR. You can remove an attribute. So remove attribute of checked attribute తీసేది మనం. సో ఆటోమేటిక్గా చెక్డ్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ తీసేయాలి. చూద్దాం. రిమూవ్ attribute. It's not functional. Inspector remove percentage. What's that? మీ దగ్గర ఎలా పనిచేస్తుందా? చెక్డ్ ఈక్వల్ చెక్డ్ ఉంది అక్కడ, కానీ చెక్డ్ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు. డాలర్ ఇది ఇన్పుట్, ఇది డాలర్ ఇన్పుట్, రెండు చెక్కడే ఉన్నాయా? ఇక్కడ చెక్కడ్ తీసేసాం, అట్రిబ్యూటే తీసేసాం. ఇక్కడ చెక్కడ్ ఉంది యాక్చువల్లీ, but it's not reflecting or showing the representation. Strange. Okay, if I click here, it will be putting the checker is equal to so and so, but not giving the highlight of something. So I don't know why it is behaving like this. Input ID type is equal to name is equal to HT01. రేడియో బటన్ అనాలా? రేడియో అంటే చాలా ఇన్పుట్ టైప్ రేడియో ఇస్ గుడ్ ఎనఫ్ కదా. ఇన్పుట్ టైప్ రేడియో ఇస్ గుడ్ ఎనఫ్. టైప్ రేడియో నేమ్. So you find out the answer, but we are able to solve the problem up to some extent. But okay, property or this attribute checked, then okay, this is another one. If checked is equal to and property attribute property. Dot set value. Set is equal to true. Okay, property. Dot property now. Okay, you can set the property also. Let us check the okay, instead of setting the attribute, let us set the property. What happens? Property ఏంటది? అది వేరు బేసికల్లీ. ఓకే, let us also do that CSS property లా అనుకుంటే కనుక let us try CSS property then. Dot property. Instead of doing that, let us try doing something different. So input remove attribute so and so and dot check attribute dot check, we check it. Otherwise you can also dot property also can change. Attribute checked, chain events dot property of same way you can also get it. Checked is equal to true, or otherwise what do we do? Checked true. Let us try this. And here checked false. So So we can also change the property also. If you want to check the property, you can also do it. Let us see what kind of properties does it carry here. Working, 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 working. Yeah, now it's working. Dot property, property, dot property. So we set the not only attribute, we also set the property. Chain of events. Dot means chain of events, chain of things you can add. So dot property check true. So that's one job is done, not the whole task. So further, so many other tasks are there. Whenever something is changing here, you can also change. For example, I'm putting present and so two people may be absent. When those two rows should become red. Whenever you click absent, those two rows should become red. The red color. The foreground, the text should become red color. So that they are absent. You can also see, immediately see that they are absent. So that has to be changed. And the radio button also should become red. So the tasks, whenever I click again here, absent, all other will be absent. And all the students should become red. And whenever I click present, all becomes green or is the normal color. And whenever anything, that's the kind of model I want to do. If you are able to understand, you do it on your own. I'm not going to share this. So short break. Let's join again.
క్లోజ్ చేశాను.
We will be revisiting Jquery again. So it's part and parcel of the whole learning. In subsequent, all other learnings we will be using Jquery. There are few examples. There is Quage, and you can also see. ఐడి స్టార్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఐడిని ఏడిడి ప్రెజెంట్ తో రిప్లేస్ చేస్తే ఏడిడి యాబ్సెంట్, ఈ తర్వాత ఇంకేమైనా ఉండొచ్చు అని అర్థం అనమాట. ఐడి స్టార్ అంటే ఐడి స్టార్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఏడిడి యాబ్సెంట్ అంటే ఏడిడి యాబ్సెంట్ దగ్గర ఐడి పెట్టుకుంటే అలాంటివి ఏమైనా ఉంటే ఐడి, if it contains any ID that is like that, you can also get it. బిగినింగ్ అది ఉండాలి అలా కూడా చెప్పొచ్చు మీరు. నెగేషన్ చెప్పొచ్చు. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు మేక్ షూర్ దట్ దిస్ బిగినింగ్ ఏడిడి యాబ్సెంట్ షుడ్ బి అట్ ద బిగినింగ్ అని కూడా చెప్పొచ్చు. సో దెర్ ఆర్ సెలెక్టర్స్, రెఫరెన్స్ ఇస్ దేర్. ఇక్కడ ఏమేమి సెలెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నాయని రిఫరెన్స్ అని చూడండి. The whole reference you will be getting. Star means all elements, ID, class, dot class, comma, dot class, element 1, comma, element 2, element 3. First, last, even, odd, first child, first of type, ఇవన్నీ తెలుసు మీకు. కాక ఇవి parent child, element to element, all next elements in each day, whatever it is. Equal to index అన్నమాట. So ఇది greater than particular index, less than a particular index, select all of them. Okay, not, header, animate, attribute ఇక్కడ attribute is equal to value, attribute not equal to value, attribute dollar value means it should be the ended with dollar అంటే చివర end లో jpg అని ఉండాలి. అలాగే caret ఉంటే beginning, so something is beginning with something, ఇది beginning, ఇది or I mean it's like it's tomorrow, so starting with tomorrow or followed by a hyphen or whatever. Thank you. Many happy to serve you. Thank you. Chal. Thank you. Title attribute containing the word hello. Star means మధ్యలో ఉన్నా కూడా no issue. Input type element, all input elements, all text elements, all radio elements, ఇవన్నీ ఇలా తెచ్చుకోవచ్చు మీరు. The whole reference, whole selectors are there. Similarly, events, affects, HTML, CSS, jQuery traversing, add back, previous set of elements to the current set, add self, deprecate, children, closest, content, each function you can run for each. You can do some for each function on for all those items that are retrieved. You can also apply something, map something, all these things. Okay, let's move on. jQuery, you need to refer something and you need to understand what can all be done. Next, let's start. Angularjs. Angularjs. What is Angularjs? What's Angularjs? I'll told you. So Angularjs. It's again another framework based on something like jQuery, whatever it is. But it's very easy to model something. You can tell the models, you can tell something, and you can always do something like this. Just like you might be knowing some JS piece and kind of thing, it's Angularjs. simply you will be getting something. Okay, what is it here? So hello something name order. Okay, something is mentioning the paragraph input type model name. What are the names that you type there? It will be coming over here. So if you see it, this input element is directly being used inside HTML object. I'm not telling it's a JavaScript, but still it uses. You understand the Angularjs. Angularjs is a little bit powerful than, it depends on, again, internal something like, but you see here, hello. As I'm typing there, it's being updated. There is a code. I did not write any code to update this paragraph. I just write something like within square curly braces name. But how it is coming? This is the model, ng model. There is a property called ng model. For an input type, if you add an attribute called ng model, it will become Angular, Angular. So Angular model, ng and Angular model. You always assume it is pronounced like Angular model, ang model name. So means you are telling some attribute, you use this. Now can I modify it like this? First name, last name. Enter first name or your first name. Your first name. Your last name. First name plus last name. First name plus last name. I'm sorry. Sorry. The first name plus last name. Ramesh NBN. So last name. I want to give a space in between. Angularjs, you download Angularjs first. Angular.min.js. First download Angularjs. Download just maybe. AngularJS. I have downloaded AngularJS to the server now. You can use it directly from the server. Content. Angularjs. You download this file to your directory. Link save as. Not here. Let me example here itself. You can get it. Right button, save link as, my work, same place, save. Angular.min.js. Now you can also try the same. You try it on your local machine now. Write a small file. File Jquery, file save as Angularjs, Angular. Angularjs example 1. Source Angularjs Angular.min.js. What is the file name? Angular.min.js. Angular.js file. Angular.min.js script. రెండు కలిపి కూడా వాడుకోవచ్చు, ఇష్యూ ఏం లేదు మీకు. Input ng model name, right? Paragraph hello name. That's it. Paragraph hello name. You can check this now. Control O. Angularjs example 1 that is string. Okay, ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది పొరపాటు చేసి ఏం చేసాము, ఏదో చెప్పాలి, నేను ఇచ్చావు తప్పు వచ్చింది. Angular.min.js okay, div ngr, sorry, div ngr is equal to nothing. Okay, and you tell it's an ngr. Okay. Div app name, you can write it. No, div ng app. You need to tell that it's an app, ng app. Now you can tell your name, Ramesh. So you need to tell that it's an ng app. If it is not there, app name also you can type. App 1, whatever it is. యాప్ 1 అంటే రాదండి. యాప్ నేమ్ చెప్పాలండి, మొబైల్ యాప్ ఏదో. So we will see what can all be done. ng app. So Angular app. It's an Angular app. This div contains an Angular app. Now you tell that whatever the input that you are considering, and you are directly using them directly here without any JavaScript code. I am writing and directly appending it, the text. It's a front-end presentation tool basically. So this div is mandatory. You need div or span, whatever it is. So you need to keep it as an ng app. So what should you already know? HTML, CSS, JavaScript మనకు already తెలుసు. So JS history recently in 2012 నుంచి it's coming very popular. Angularjs బాగా వస్తే గూగుల్లో చాలా రిక్రూట్మెంట్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. So many people are looking for Angularjs experts. It's a JavaScript framework. Just like Jquery, Angularjs is also a JavaScript framework. Extends HTML with ng directives. That's what. ng assume that Angular, okay. So ng directories, ng app directory defines it's an Angularjs application. ng app, ng model defines directly binds in HTML controls. So select input, select text area, whatever it is. ng bind directs the application data the HTML view. That's what. So we will be seeing. So this is what. If you are binding something, you can directly bind to the view. Earlier, what did we do? For example, let me show you another modification to the same. So if you, I can also be p bind, ng bind to name. So this paragraph will be, whatever you are typing there, it will be bound. It will bound to that one. So paragraph, say for example, it's a H2 type paragraph. Now inside that I am binding a paragraph to the previous HTML input tag. Now what happens? Whatever you type there, here I did not use a curly brace to keep the value. I bind this paragraph to this input element. So they are together, they are bound together. So if you update something, you can always update some other thing somewhere else. Based on input or something like that, if you want to do something, you can do it. So you can also use ng bind, ng app, ng bind, ng model. Three things. ng app, ng bind, ng model. Angular app, Angular model, Angular bind. So is that the development shows the owner of the Angular application directly binds the value of the input field to the application variable name, whatever it is, and directly binds the application variable name. So now we can easily do something. Okay, let me move on. Okay, that is the three things that you got to know so far. So ng bind directive binds inner HTML of the p element. That's what. Binds that variable name. It's a variable name available. Angular directory, JS directives. So you can also init. You can put some initializations. These initializations you can directly use them. You can also initialize some of the variables and values. I want to initialize in the application, when an application is beginning, I want to initialize something. You can initialize it. So ng first name, last name, you can initialize and you can directly use it. So that's what. You can try that also now. So I want to initialize my last name inside the app itself. ng init last name, ng init last name is equals to nbn. Now I want to write only the first name. Last name should always be appended. Plus last name. Last name. I want to put in a space in between. Or name, you can also compute the name. Only after typing that value and all if you want to. ngbind name, expression I don't know. Okay, expression I don't know. It is a name, but it is an expression. When you are keeping like this, is an expression. But this possibly may not be an expression. I don't know whether it can really bind to an expression or not. So what should I do? I should write a span of two elements and concatenate both together. Okay, whatever it is. So let me show you another paragraph. Instead of paragraph, let me put it as a span. Let me put it as a span. And let me put it as another span where ngbind to last name. Last name. So now there are two spans in between. Let me add a space in between to both the spans. Then you can see the output. NBN is always okay. I need to put it in single quote. That's a problem. Got it. Got it. What is the problem now here? You understand it? Since this is NBN is not, it's again text, not a number. If it is a number, it would have been assigned the value. Because it's a text, it could not. Okay. Now it is going to have that value here. Hello NBN. Hello Ramesh NBN. If you want to initialize two variables also, you can initialize by putting a comma, I hope. Middle name. Say last name N, middle name is equal to Bn. Now let me also try to concatenate it. Middle name plus last name. Let me see whether it is working or not. Something.
Muted.
Yeah, BNN ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఓకే అంతే కదా BNN instead of last name plus middle name. Let me add last name plus middle name. Another span I want to add without space, last name and middle name MN. Now you will be adding two different variables being assigned. What is that? Span and ngbind. But did not close the span. ఒక స్పాన్ క్లోజ్ చేసి ఇంకో స్పాన్ ఓపెన్ చేయాలి కదా. Now okay. So I initialize two variables now. Two variables, each variable is separated by a colon, semicolon. Each variable is separated by a semicolon. So now AngularJS, we gradually learning the AngularJS. Now you got to know how to initialize the variables, how to use the input type, input element variable things, how to bind them, how to compute an expression also. You can also compute an expression also, right? For example, if you want to compute an expression like, so the result, okay, you want to compute the result. For example, let me write another here. So input A and B, input A plus B value, you want to compute the result. So there are two inputs you want to use, A and B, and you want to compute the result of A plus B. Model name A, and similarly plus another model you want to write, B, and you want to compute the result, A plus B value, result is equal to A plus B. What will I be getting? So 10 plus 20, how much? Oh, what is this? Both are here now. Goes out modify, yes, and goes out modify. So 10, 20, రెండు type చేస్తే ఏమొస్తుంది result? Ten 20. ఎందుకు they are strings, you know that. Parsing డైరెక్ట్గా లేదా దీంట్లో ఇంటికి డైరెక్ట్ పార్సింగ్ లేదేమో టూ ఇంటిజర్ ఏదో ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, let us see. Let us move on. Or integer dot parsing డైరెక్ట్ రాదు కదా, మర్చిపోయిన పార్సింగ్ పార్సింగ్ డైరెక్ట్ రాదులే. They are not using JavaScript code కదా, it is not JavaScript. int the capital letter రాశాను కూడా. It does not come. It doesn't come because the reason you know it. ఇది రాదు. I will show you. Okay, AngularJS, there are methods for available to do that. So, and look at data ng app. So another one is data ng app. Another one you can also do some data ng in it. So you can prepend something to some other thing. So the data ng bind. So whatever is ng app or whatever, this is going to be a prefix now. So if you keep something like data ng and instead of ng, you want to make sure that your HTML page is valid. In case if you use data.ng instead of ng, you want to make sure your HTML page. You will learn a lot more in already. You will be learning. Expression. This will compute the value properly. But when you are taking those values from an input element, then you need to be very careful. Okay, this is always expression, that what I am talking. It's an expression. So a curly brace, and curly brace. Anything that you write there, it is going to be an expression. Angular module. You can also do something like this. So AngularJS, another AngularJS applications. You can develop a modules. You can write your own app module. You can attach that module to something else. So that module can do that job. So here ng app, my app. Now this my app, you are writing your own app, my app. So that my app is you are writing here, it is a module app. Whatever the module that you want to write, you can write your module here. That's why we kept it blank earlier. Now we are trying to do some module. This module is just like similar to Jquery. It's a callback functions. You can always write. You can write a controller. You can write viewer, everything. So model view controller can be understood very well here. We will be always explaining one after the other. First of all, we will be revisiting the same. How are we writing in the all? We will be coming back here again. So this is what? Scope. So Angularjs module. You can always use Angularjs controller. So in a module, you can write your own controller. You present everything you can write. It's different. So this controller will let you know what it has to do. So it's a my control, whatever it is, function, so and so, and you are getting this one. And this will do the job as if you are doing for the other one also. You can assign it and you can use it. So if we try this, what happens? So automatically assign the value here. If you assign like something like here, Ganesh, NVM, then you will be seeing something. So you are assigning the value. Even though if you change it, it works fine. You can also get it. So it works. You can initialize the values here in the scope, in the controller in the beginning, and later you can do it. You need not only use the. So in the app, you are willing to call the controller my control. My control. You can write your own thing. So the next one, we will be coming back again there. Don't worry. So Angularjs expressions. You got to know that something like something. So you want to write any expression. All other expressions are there. Numbers. Something star works fine. These are directly numbers. But if you want to convert a string, JSON object, and you can also use the JSON object directly.
Muted.
Initialization, whatever you do, you can take the JSON object, you can compute something, or you can do something. You can also pass an array. You can also pass an array. So you can also bind anyway. You know it. So all these things works fine. So you can try them out now again. Contain letters, operators, and variables, unlike Java, it can be written inside HTML. And JavaScript Angularjs do not support conditional loops or exceptions. JavaScript expressions do not conditional loops and expressions. Unlike JavaScript expressions, Angularjs expressions support filters. Angularjs support filters and more. So directives, Angularjs directives, we got to know. Again, data binding. We got the ng bind. Ng model quantity, ng model price, or quantity price. You can write it. Default values you can assign. You can repeating HTML element. So this is what I want to repeat an HTML element. Let's try this. I want to repeat an HTML element. So ng repeat x in names, and you want to write all those elements as an LA element. So let us do it now, right? So this is a best example. Let us start doing it. So far what did we learn? Ng ng app, ng model, ng bind, right? And you also got to know the expression. It's an expression, right? So ng further controllers all we will come back again. Now we are going to learn some more things. So ng init is also there, am I right? ng init undi kada. So we also got to know ng init. So each one of them we got to know. Now let us do something now. ng repeat. Now let us do ng repeat. What do we do with ng repeat? Let's watch. Let me write another data element ng init. Okay, another div app, another app. Let me write another app here. Ng init data is equal to an array containing 10, 20, 30, 40. Now that is my initialization array. What I wanted to do, I want to write list items. I want to write unordered list, UL. Okay, or ordered list. List item రాయాలి అనుకున్నాను, list item. ng repeat. ng repeat is equal to, right? ng repeat is equal to x in data, or x in data. I want to write that list item x రాయాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను అక్కడ, అంతే కదా. That's it. So now I want to represent all of the list items 10, 20, 30, 40 in a list item. ఇంతకుముందు మనం రాసాం కదా, అలా టేబుల్ రోస్ రాయాలని రాయొచ్చు, చూపిస్తాను మీకు. So this is what I want to do. I want to write all list items out of this data list. 10, 20, 30, 40 అనేవి 4 list items generate చేయాలి. So that's what I'm trying to do now. ఏం చేసాము, ఐదాంట్లోనే పెట్టాలి దీన్ని. Otherwise you can also bind ng bind, also you can write ng bind data of elements, data ng repeat. What is the problem here? ng init which equal to data of, okay, let me save it as file save as example 2. Let us try with example 2 so that we will be understanding some of the other things. For x in data, yeah, that's what. 2 apps, there must be an app name and another problem. So the app, 2 apps. So the ng apps, there cannot be the 2 apps with the same name. So the default name is blank actually. So there cannot be 2 apps with the same name. Now what am I doing here, you know? You can always keep the same thing inside your data itself, or you can bind it, you can do something anyway, or you can write your own app XYZ, and you can try drawing without the controller also. You can write it. It's a different matter altogether. But the first example, I wrote example 2, where I try to repeat the list elements. Now I want to repeat them as table data elements or something like that also. You can do it. You can also do them as a table elements also. I want to generate a table now. Can I generate a table from this? Can you generate a table from this? Instead of list items, I want to generate a table containing 10, 20, 30, 40. Can I do that? Just change it like this. Table, table, table. This is a, okay, for every tr, for every tr, for every tr, right? For every tr, you need to repeat it with td. With some td, you want to repeat the same. You want to put it. For every tr, you want to repeat that td. That's it. It must be able to generate a table, I hope. It's a table now. You see that? It's a table. How do I know whether it's a table or not? You check it, right button, inspect element. It's a table. Table data, class ng binding, table row, table is there, table body is there. Every element is there. It's a table now. If you are able to learn one thing, you should be able to learn, connect the other things. That's what I am trying to learn, make sure. Now I want to make sure I am willing to generate a table which is containing 2 rows like this. Can I do that? 10, 20, 30, 40. 2 rows. A table which contains 2 rows, 10, 20, 30, 40. What happens here? That's what the question now. ఇలా వస్తుంది. ఇది కాదుగా టేబుల్. టేబులే కానీ అది కాదు డేటా. ng repeat is equal to y in x, keep y there. That's it, I think. Problem solved.
Muted.
X లోకి డేటాలోంచి x వస్తుంది. ఆ x లోంచి y తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఆ y ని ఇక్కడ td లో పెట్టేస్తున్నాం. అలా ప్రతి tr రిపీట్ అవుతుంది x కి, ప్రతి td రిపీట్ అవుతుంది, ప్రతి y, ప్రతి డేటాకి, ప్రతి దానికి, ప్రతి రోకి tr రిపీట్ అవుతుంది. ఆ లోపల ఉన్న దానికి ఒక td రిపీట్ అవుతుంది. దట్స్ ఇట్, యు ఆర్ డన్. This is a 2-dimensional table. So you should be able to understand these small things. Once you learn something, you should be able to connect the other things. Any other questions? ఇప్పుడు అంతా చాలా ఈజీ కదా ఏం జనరేట్ చేయాలన్నా కూడా. ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఈజీ టు జనరేట్ ఎ టేబుల్ నౌ. ఇప్పుడు క్రియేట్ టేబుల్, టేబుల్ రో, ఏం చెప్పక్కల మనం. టేబుల్ జనరేట్ చేయాలంటే డేటా ఇచ్చేసి టేబుల్ జనరేట్ చేయమంటారు. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి దీని అర్థం ఏంటి? ఎక్స్ ఇన్ డేటా అంటే ఏంటి అర్థం? డేటాలోని ఒక్కొక్క ఎలిమెంట్ తీసుకో. ఫస్ట్ ఎలిమెంట్ 10, 20 తీసుకుంటారు కదా, 10, 20 తీసుకొచ్చి ఎక్స్లో పెడుతుంది. ఆ ఎక్స్ ఇక్కడ వచ్చి కూర్చుంటుంది కదా, దాంట్లోంచి వై ఇన్ ఎక్స్ అంటే దాని 1020లోంచి ఒక్కొక్క ఎలిమెంట్ తీసుకో, అంటే ఫస్ట్ 10 తీసుకుని టీడీ రాస్తుంది, మళ్ళీ 20 తీసుకుని ఇంకో టీడీ రాస్తుంది, అప్పటికి దాని రో కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. దాని టీఆర్ క్లోజ్ చేస్తుంది, మళ్ళీ టీ ఇట్ మూవ్స్ ఆన్, దట్స్ ఇట్, సింపుల్. ఇదే మీకు యూ వాంట్ డూ ఇట్ ఫర్, I want to do it for another example. I want to file save as example 3. I want to do it for objects. ఈ డేటాలో ఏరే బదులు ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ పెడతా. ఇంతకుముందు మన డేటా ఉంది కదా, మన డేటా జనరేట్ అవుతుందో లేదు చూద్దామా, అసలు టేబుల్ జనరేట్ అవుతుందో లేదు చూద్దామా. ఫైల్ ఓపెన్, ఎక్కడ ఉంది కదా, ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఏ రోజు వర్క్ అది, 22nd మే. టేబుల్ క్రియేషన్ ఇదేనా డేటా. లెట్ మీ టేక్ దిస్ డేటా. Control C, Control V, సేవ్ చేసాను. ఇదంతా సింగిల్ కోట్లో పెట్టుకోవాలి, ఎందుకు, డబుల్ కోట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి. మొత్తాన్ని సింగిల్ కోట్లో పెట్టి అయిపోయింది ప్రాబ్లం. మొత్తాన్ని సింగిల్ కోట్లో పెట్టాను డేటాని, ఎందుకు, లోపల డబుల్ కోట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి. లెట్ us see whether our table is getting generated or not. ఏం పెట్టాను, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 3లో సేవ్ చేశాను, అది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 3లో సేవ్ చేశాను అని తీసుకొచ్చి. What is happening? ఏం జరిగింది ఇక్కడ, డేటా ఆఫ్ డేటా కదా, అది తప్పు. డేటా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు తప్పు రాశాను కదా, లోపలదే తీసుకున్నా, 2 dimension కదా ఇది. I did not do it correctly, that's a problem. Now I should be able to do it. Right? టేబుల్ వచ్చేసింది కదా, డేటా దానికి ఇస్తే టేబుల్ వచ్చేసింది. You can use it. So same JSON data also you can try it out. Now that's called repeat, ng repeat, right? You can also try that. And similarly you can also try an array containing objects. You can also get them. Ng app directive, okay, automatically initialize, automatically bootstrap, and ng whatever it is. So it will do that, root elements, ng init directives, initialization, ng model directive, ng repeat directive. So these are all called directives. Ng app directive is an app, ng init is to initialize the values, ng model to associate anything, input elements and all other elements, to make a model from that can be. So provided type validation for application data, number, email, required, whatever it is. Provide status for application data, and provide CSS classes for HTML elements, bind HTML elements to HTML forms. For ng model. Angularjs controllers. Now we can come back to controller. What's the time? You practice till this point. You can practice and in this meanwhile. So let us do another example, example 4, where we will keep Instead of keeping array here, let us keep data, objects of data. Array of objects pedadam. Array of objects. Semicolon or comma. Okay. Okay. ముందు ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ రాసేద్దాం. Name Ramesh. Height 182. Let's repeat it. Control C, Control V, Control V. ఎన్ని కావాలండి ఎంటర్ కొట్టుకోండి, నో ఇష్యూ. Name Shiva. So I want to write this data. ఇప్పుడు ఎలా మరి? మొదటిది array, arrayలో objects. How can I repeat it now? ఇలాంటిది రిపీట్ చేయాలంటే ఎలాగా? ఇలాంటిది రిపీట్ చేయాలంటే x in data, అది arrays కాబట్టి ఓకే. y in x, x dot y. x dot y అంటున్నాడు. వస్తుందా? అందాం y డాట్ యాక్చువల్ y డాట్ x, y డాట్ నేమ్ అందాం. yలోకి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ వస్తుందని అనుకుందాం కొద్దిసేపు. సో ఆర్ x డాట్ నేమ్ యాక్చువల్, ఐఎమ్ సారీ, ఒక్కసారి x లోకి వస్తుంది కదా, ఒక dd x డాట్ నేమ్, ఇంకోటి రిపీట్ వద్దు, ప్రస్తుతం రిపీట్ వద్దు, తర్వాత ఆలోచిద్దాం దీని గురించి. ఇంకో dd x డాట్ హైట్. Now this is going to solve the problem for a while. What's in the table? X dot king x dot sim. ఇప్పుడు x లోపల నుంచి ప్రాపర్టీస్ తెచ్చుకోగలమా లేదా అనేది క్వశ్చన్. So can we travel the properties of an object, all the properties of an object in the order they are written? I know that's what the question arises. Then you should not do this. This is one way of solving the problem. Let me solve the problem in a different way. Right? So x dot name కాదు, x of y. ఇది కూడా ప్రాబ్లం సాల్వ్ చేయాలి నాకు తెలిసి. Let us see. It's not. X of y and z, it's not. X of y and z is maybe assuming that That's going to be there. But x of y. Okay, it's not solving anyway. X dot name and y dot name. The repeat of the DDK. Let us see what is there. What is the other alternative there? X dot name and y dot name. X dot height. It's the best song. So you understand till this point. This has solved the problem already. You have seen that. Now you practice it again and again. That's what. So how many directories have we got to know so far? Ngapp, ngModel, ngBind, expression, nginit, ngrepeat. So you need to what more else do we need to understand? Tomorrow you need to okay, ng controller and Angular module you need to know. Controller and external file source you can get them. Okay, so my time is almost running out, so that I cannot start this, since it requires a little more understanding of the things. So you do up to that part, then we will go to the other one. So here we are seeing the tables. Angular SQL is also there. This is what we are seeing. You can get with something else, customers.php, and you can initialize this module, and you can run the table. I will show you. Displaying the style. Anyway, you know that. Order by filter. That's what I mean. Okay, order by country. You can also order by something. Right. Uppercase you can. Index. Okay, let's see. So let's go back, and you need to do up to this part. Angular directives. Okay. But tomorrow I will try to finish most of the 3-4 topics. So Angularjs is another important learning. Very few people in the world knows about it, since it has come very recently, 2012. So if you are readily and if you are able to catch up on the opportunities, you need to learn Angularjs. So many people are there in the world to develop the applications using Java and other things, but very few people are there with regard to these particular things. So whenever something is actually demanding, you need to move towards that. That's a good idea. So many people can learn Java. There's no doubt about it. Okay? So you try to put your effort in as much as possible. And there are books also available on Angularjs. I don't know. Okay, right. I will try to share those things tomorrow. And you can also do as much as you can. See you. So the task for you is to finish the Jquery. Using Jquery, you should be able to change the background color and absent. If even one person is absent, only that row should be read. Rest of all should not be. So that's what. So all those functionalities should be added to the table.